I want you to think about abortions, and I do not mean the entire when does life really start and is it really murder. And just for full disclosure, let me state that to me, yeah, it is murder, but I can still understand where the pro choice people are coming from. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it. But that's not the focus of this video. The focus of this video is basically the double standard that comes with it. And the reason I say this is because I want you to go and imagine the following scenario. I want you to imagine a guy gets a woman pregnant, he finds out, he doesn't want to be a father, doesn't want to have nothing to do with the kid, doesn't want to support it, he ups and leaves, and the woman's just left with the kid. So the guy didn't want to be a father, and he exercised whatever he could in order to not be a father. Now, okay, let's take all of that and put it on the woman, okay? She gets pregnant, she doesn't want a kid, she aborts it, she's no longer a parent. Now, you can sit and say, is it murder, or are we just getting rid of an unwanted kid that's going to be unloved and turn into a criminal and make life worse for everyone? And again, that's not the point of this video. The point of it, though, is stop and think for a moment. The guy, while he left, he didn't go and quote-unquote end a life or fetus or whatever you want to call it. What he did, he just dropped everything and left. The woman, on the other hand, did. She did go and take action, and now there's one less human being in this world. Now, even so, people can still go and say, well, you see, Odio, it's a woman's body, and it's a woman's decision, and a man shouldn't go and have any place at all in telling a woman what to do with her body. It's her body, it's her choice, let her do whatever. And I agree with that. In fact, I agree with it so much that my way of looking at it is, since it's her body, her responsibility, and her choice, her call, her everything, and she has all the decision-making powers, let her finance her own damn decisions. Let me be clear with you. If somebody went bungee jumping, a guy and a bunch of their friends, and they went and one of them, while bungee jumping, ended up having to land a certain way, ended up having their spine broken or something, would it be this guy's fault that he went and did such a dangerous stunt, or would it be his friend's fault because of what he did? Now, common sense, of course, is going to say, well, it was an accident, it was a bad and terrible thing that happened, but the guy knew the risks. He went out there, and he went and took his chances, he gambled, and he lost, and now he's paying for it. And yeah, the punishment doesn't fit the crime and all that stuff, but the bottom line of it is, it's still his fault, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. If you go and do something stupid that could impact your life in a very negative way, whether it's sex, drugs, you name it, that's all on you. It's your body. It's your life. If you're going to go and do something that is completely stupid, well, guess what? You ought to live with the consequences, okay? And if you're a woman, they are none. You can go to any Planned Parenthood and get an abortion, and that kid is out of your life. If you don't want to be a parent, you don't have to be if you're a woman. And that's all because, guess what? As a woman, you're strong and independent and empowered and all this other stuff for women who want to have the privileges of being a full-grown adult, but what nothing more than all the responsibilities of a small kid. Look, when it comes to a guy, does he have a I don't want to be a parent option? Can he go and fuck 20 women, get them all pregnant, and then be like, hey, it's your fault, it's your body? Can he go, well, it's your body, it was your choice to have sex, you got pregnant, it's all on you. If you don't want it, get an abortion. If you do, great. And if you don't want to go and do that, if you're against it for whatever reason, or you think it's murder, great. Have the kid, take care of it, It's all on you. If you don't like it, I'm out of here. And people are going to say, well, that's terrible, that's horrible, and I'm like, yeah, bullshit. Come on. Even if the woman had a kid, she could still drop it off at a fire station. She could drop it off at a police station. She could drop it off wherever. They would take the kid in and send it to a foster home. So even if the kid's born, she still doesn't have to be a mother. You're a guy, you're fucked. A woman wants to have the kid, you're the guy, you made the choice, now you gotta go and pay this person because they made a dumb decision with you. Okay? Again, this is going back to bungee jumping. Both of you did it. One of you went and, turned out fine. The other one has a broken spine. It's terrible, it's horrible, but let's be realistic. If you're going to sit and see the guy who's okay and say, oh, I can't even walk down and it's all your fault, that wouldn't make any sense at all. And you can say, well, yeah, but bungee jumping is a single event and sex is a partnership. You need two people in order to do it. And I'm like, okay, that's very true. Yes, you do. However, both people had to consent. And so, if a woman can go and sit and say, oh no, I'm pregnant, now you go and pay for it. Well, okay, what if the guy gets an STD? Can he go and sue the woman and say, oh no, you gave me an STD, I'm going to sue you because you went and ruined my life and everything else? No, that wouldn't make any sense. No one would go and uphold it because when you have sex with strangers, that's a risk you go and take. So it's no one's fault but the guy's. But again, here it is, it takes two to tango. So the guy could have gotten an STD unless the woman went and consented to it. Well, okay. Stop and think for a second. You're going to say, here's the rules for a woman, and here's the rules for a man, and oh yeah, by the way, the man's got a lot more restrictions placed on what he can do. He's got more responsibility. He doesn't have any choice. He has to go along with whatever someone else wants to do. Tell me, if we went and reversed the stuff, if we actually made it so the guy would get to go and decide whether the kid lived or died, and instead of the guy being having to go and finance it, he went and said, well, I want the kid, but, I'm the father, I have to make the decisions, I want it, and because you're the mother, I expect you to go and pay me. Would anyone allow it? Anyone at all? No, of course not, because we're not worried about men. We're worried about those delicate little flowers who can't make a decision on their own and has to continually be asked every 5 minutes if they, do you consent, do you consent, do you consent? Because women are dumb, stupid, ignorant children with tits who don't go and have a brain in their head. This is what society is turning women into. And you can go and sit and be mad at me all you like, but the truth is the truth. If women want to be treated like adults, great! Then give them adult responsibilities! Women are not children. This is what I'm trying to say. They are not kids. You do not go and put a kid behind the wheel of a car and say, good luck. Okay, well, if you're giving someone the basically, whether to decide literally life and death, and you're saying this is A-okay and everything else, and then you're saying, oh yeah, you're a horrible, terrible person if you don't go and finance this other person's, who you never met except for last night, if you don't go and finance them for the next 18 years in their crappy decision, then you're a terrible human being. None of this makes any sense. It is a double standard. This is the problem. We need to go and quit the double standard. We need to go and realize that if something is A-okay for a woman to do, it should be okay for a man. And if we're going to sit and chew out a guy for making, for doing something, we ought to be allowed to do the same thing to a woman. Just because you have breasts and a vagina does not mean you have rights. That does not apply to anyone else. This is the very definition of privilege. And as a guy, I am sick and tired of being told, check your privilege, by a bunch of snooty feminists who are the most overprivileged group of people I have ever seen.